Today I had to spend $8 to take and replace the headphone microphone set for my laptop computer here. Was it the shall we say, was it the connection for the microphone was it took and broke, and the way these things are designed and built, there's no way you could take them apart without destroying them, so, that thing with it, spend $8 at the, was it the Big Lots, was it discount store in Derry on New Hampshire Route 28. Not much else has happened today, except that I went out to do some shooting video for Derry, New Hampshire's community public access cable TV. That I'm going to go to the studio tomorrow to take and upload and edit the footage I shot today. Yes, tomorrow is haul the trash day. But was it to load up my car with the trash bags and put them in the boot. Then first thing, go to the town hall to take and pay for a new, transfer station, refuse transfer station permit for the next year. So get that done. Then go to the get rid of the trash. Then drive all the way up to the Derry's community public access cable TV studio in the basement of the Derry's town hall. Spend time there, get another TV show uploaded, edited, and produced. Then start the process all over again. I apologize for not really, being super creative lately with respect to video production, for the Derry Community Public Access Cable TV. But the issue is that there's very little in the way of cultural events going on anywhere, or I should say free cultural events going on anywhere in the Nutfield region of my town of Salem, the town of Windham, the town of Pelham, the town of Derry, and the town of Londonderry, here in the Nutfield region of New Hampshire. The last several years, even during the summer, there were very few cultural events. Because there used to be, the New England Shakespeare Festival players used to come and do in the summertime and do a Shakespeare play in the original Elizabethan period style and format. In the downtown Derry in McGregor Park, next to the Derry, New Hampshire Public Library. Also, was it there are very few times when the wildlife encounters was it traveling animal exhibit comes around to take and show different animals, wild animals, to children. Either in Derry or any of the other was it local libraries in the Nutfield region. It is like was it all the towns around this area have had major budget cuts and budget deficits, and essentially cultural events or cultural enrichment has essentially been hacked out of the program, out of the public libraries. So if you want to have a cultural event, you've got to go either all the way up to Manchester, which is 23 miles north, or you have to take and travel 34 miles south to go down into the major city of Boston, Massachusetts, for cultural events. It just goes to show you the priorities of the politicians here in the town of Salem and in the other towns here in the Nutfield region of Pelham, Windham, Derry, and Londonderry. So that I'm not sure what they can do as far as creating television programming for the Derry, New Hampshire Community Public Access Cable TV, except I went around and shot some, natural scenery, by I-93 in Derry, then was at the town common area up in Londonderry, and I had to drive east to New Hampshire Route 121 to the town of Hampstead, New Hampshire, and start hiking into the Hampstead, New Hampshire's town forest preserve, which is just outside of the Nutfield region of New Hampshire. Hampstead and Danville, Kingston, Atkinson, Sandown, Exeter is all another part of the New Hampshire, which is considered to be more toward the seacoast region of New Hampshire. Even though Atkinson and Hampstead are also considered to be part of the greater Salem, New Hampshire area. And I'm gonna end up being forced to take and travel down into Massachusetts to find cultural events to video record, and essentially be stepping into say the territory of the Lawrence, Massachusetts public access cable TV territory of which, of course, I do have a personal contact at Lawrence, Massachusetts' City of Lawrence's cable TV public access channel. My Asperger autism friend, Daniel Rychek, who is also the founder and executive director of Asperger Works, the new nonprofit organization of which I myself am on the board of directors of. And of course, I apologize for this year not video recording the local regional Autistic Self-Advocacy Network's annual day of mourning vigil for the adults and children with disabilities who have been abused and murdered by their caregivers over the last 30 years. This year, that many of my friends in the autism community really did not want to be filmed this year at the vigil. And of course, I respected their wishes. Because as a independent producer for Derry Community Public Access Cable TV, I do have certain ethical guidelines which I have to follow. With respect to consent. Because many nowadays, that many people end up getting into the public media not because they want to, because they end up, in somebody else's video footage. And of course, this is becoming a major issue with me trying to go out into the community and shoot video for you, the public, who in the town of Derry, New Hampshire, who watch cable TV public access programming. Of course, I've tried already to create two, the first two programs in a series about basic electronics, but I can only do so much, when I have the time to create a program such as this, between all my other duties of trying to run a household, I have house chores to perform like any other person, even though I am disabled with high functioning autism, Asperger's syndrome, and mild cerebral palsy. And I have my commitments to the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network, civil rights, my commitments to the Massachusetts chapter of ADAPT, which is another civil rights organization, which is cross-disability and encompasses all persons, all different types of disabilities, agitating for civil rights. And also my work as a member of the board of directors of Asperger Works, nonprofit organization, which is trying to get up and running to start helping adults with Asperger's syndrome type autism with all aspects of obtaining and maintaining employment throughout the adult lifespan from ages 18 all the way up through ages 65 and older. And, that finding the time, that, and I have to take, the literally, that even though I'm not good with my time management as an older adult with autism, I still have to make time for all these different activities, including trying to create programming for you, the public. Out in Derry Community Public Access Cable TV. Well, anyways, I'll shut down this video weblog entry, and I'll go back to watching the news here in the evening on March 31st, 2016.